Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour, brought to you by TJS Ceramic Studio, Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts, Chasers Food and Spirits, Excel Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Jesse Moffitt Entertainment, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire arts and entertainment conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Hello, one and all. It is great to have you listening. It is truly appreciated. A truly fun show just ahead. Nathn Hults is gearing up for his live show comedy album recording. Sioux Falls Canaries, home opener coming up, so they're gearing up too. That's next week. Game day host John Gaskins and PA announcer Randy Preston tell us what to expect at the old ballpark this year. But first, let's pop the cork on this bubbly little show. Time to grab your favorite beverage, lift it high, and toast it to being Thursday, a.k.a. Weekend Eve.
Hey, the weekend isn't around the corner, it's here!
So long, hump day and your frumpy way. We say hello to Thursdays with opening nights. The weekend is near and we can see the bright lights. Yes, Thursday, you're so hearty, we can't wait for Friday, so a day early, we start the party. Whatever you're drinking and whatever you're drinking it out of might very well be determined by where and when you're listening. My choice, a Jasper Newton. Jack Daniels Diet Coke with a lime, please. For you, whether it's a cup of coffee, a spot of tea, glass of milk, bottle of water, mug of beer, cocktail, glass of wine, flute of champagne. Lift it high and toast it to dancer, dance instructor, choreographer, Raina Rasmussen. She's been on this show several times and has also been in a The Vaughties show. She's very talented and her personal traits are equally impressive. Just a joy to be around, a joy to see. She's one of those that walks in and that smile brings everybody to saying, "Oh, what beauty." In fact, she brings beauty to the art of dance. She celebrated another trip around the sun yesterday. So for your birthday, cheers to you, Raina. Speaking of cheers, which just happens to rhyme with beers, say cheers with a beer or your favorite cocktail at Chasers, West 12th Street and Ellis Road. Make sure you grab some food while you're at it. Join me Monday nights for Dave Holly Hour Trivia starting at 7. This coming week's theme, friendships, old and new. Honorable mention. What over the past week made Dave laugh, guffaw, chuckle, chortle, giggle, smile, or maybe even shed a tear of joy? Local visual artist Dea Thorin, a recent guest, messaged me last week and said she had a painting for me. Well, yesterday she brought it into the Dipsy Doodle Studios. Her inspiration was a story I had told her about the prettiest sunset I ever saw. It was before we had cameras on smartphones, so it's been in my mind and stuck there for over 25 years now. But now, to be reminded of it, all I simply need to do is look up and see a beautiful painting from a wonderful artist. Thank you so much, Dea. It was a smile, a great appreciation, and yes, eventually a tear of joy. Later, we'll talk with Canaries game day host John Gaskins and PA announcer Randy Preston. In just a few minutes, comedian Nathn Hults talks about producing his upcoming comedy album, Live Recording, on the Dave Holly Hour.
Check out the new ceramic studio in Sioux Falls, conveniently located off Kiwanis Avenue on 5th Street. TJS Ceramics, inside Oscar's Mini Storage. We have thousands of classic vintage ceramic mold items and several new items too. TJS Ceramics offers classes, special open studio nights, and completed ready-to-purchase items. Bisque, studio time, or painting parties are available. Visit TJS Ceramics Studio in person today or email tjsceramics@gmail.com for more details.
Take in the great works at Serendipity Studio and Gift Gallery in the Shriver Building. So many great works from regional artists. They offer so many ways for everyone to participate or interact with the studio as well as the artists. So check your calendar, then make your plans to participate at Serendipity Studio. Simply go online, visit their website, www.serendipitystudiosd.com. Again, serendipitystudiosd.com. Yeah, you're on top of it. The SD stands for South Dakota. You'll get more information, and you can register for any of the activities. I know they've got some great classes coming up. Sound like a lot of fun. Serendipity Studio, located downtown Sioux Falls in the historic Shriver Building at 230 South Phillips Avenue on the second floor.
Are you an artist? Need some funding to further your art? There's a great opportunity for you through a Sioux Falls Arts Council program. The Artist Microgrant program gives away several microgrants to local artists, no matter what art discipline you're in. Unlike more traditional grants, a microgrant is very easy to apply for. Go to artssiouxfalls.org. If you haven't done so yet, create a listing on the Artist Directory, which is beneficial in its own way. Then go to the Artist Microgrants page and apply online. The process is simple. Find out more about the Sioux Falls Arts Council as well online at artssiouxfalls.org.
The Dave Holly Hour, like eavesdropping on a great conversation between two very interesting people.
Welcome back, everyone. Oh, it is such a great day when I get to talk and just pump up Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment. And it's such a great day when I get to have Nathn Hults in the studio. Nathn Hults, the comedian who will be filming his special next week.
Yeah, live album recording.
Yeah. Great to have you here, as always.
I'm so excited to be here, Dave.
Well, I'm so excited for next Thursday.
Did you get new microphones?
I got one new microphone.
One new microphone.
Yeah, these are still, yeah.
Yeah, these are great.
Yeah, they are.
The studio's coming along, Mike.
Thank you.
This is a fantastic. I feel like I'm in a, I feel like I'm this close to a YouTube video.
You have to be.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, see, that's something you can help me with.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not good on the video stuff yet.
Well, I think we put a camera here. We put a camera right there over your shoulder.
Okay, so one for you.
Yep.
Got it.
So you got your guests and you got your thing. And
I like it.
You just put up a Zoom and it'll switch between whoever's talking. Yeah, we'll get it done.
Oh. Wow. Mm-hmm. It does that automatically?
Sometimes.
Okay.
It's not great, but it's a good...
It's enough you'll sell it to me.
It's a good start. It's a good start. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I love it when you walk into a room. You are one of those that just brightens things for me.
Oh, that's kind.
And I just so appreciate what you do because you are the one, I mean... The friends that I have that are in the comedy scene in Sioux Falls.
Which you have many.
Yes, I do. And love every one of them.
Absolutely.
And you are the one that I always say, if I fall asleep watching TV some night and all of a sudden, the Tonight Show or something like that is on, and I hear this familiar voice, it would be Nate that would be the one that would make it to that point.
You are making me blush. You're making an Irish
See, now,
blush.
We need the cameras now.
That's just so kind. I don't know. I have a hard time I try to remain humble.
Yes.
Right? But I'm also, working towards it, and so I appreciate you seeing that.
Yeah, and in terms of dreams, obviously any comic is going to have that dream of being on late night TV at some point.
Yeah, that's not the case anymore.
Really, because there's so much availability with the YouTube.
There's no Carson.
Oh, true.
There's no
I agree with that,
and I mean
much more than you can think.
And I mean that more not necessarily like late night hosts or anything like that. I mean, there is nothing like the Johnny Carson show in the world right now. There's no Beacon. There's no Tastemaker. There's no anything that is a strive to for as a comedian right now. 'Cause I remember when, my era wasn't Carson. I didn't have
Right.
Johnny Carson, right? Leno, maybe a little bit, but it was Conan. My generation,
True.
It was Conan. I need to get a Conan set. That's oh my goodness. I wish I could do that on Conan. Like Conan was the goal, was the Johnny Carson show. They were the tastemaker of comedians. Like he had the best comedians, the best sets, the best videos came from Conan sets. And now that Conan's gone, Fallon you can do, but like it doesn't have the same weight, and it's not because he's worse or that whatever. It's just the product is so diluted now with so many late night shows, and people my age don't watch late night shows a whole lot.
People my age can't watch late night shows.
So like the late night TV format doesn't have the same pull that it used to. And so it's kind of a strange, like we're kind of in a strange mode where everyone has different goals now, right? Because you can make a YouTube video and reach way more people than a Johnny, like
That much.
than a Jimmy Fallon set. Yeah. Like people,
Wow.
there's not 100. Like if you have a viral video, right? More people have seen Bert Kreischer's The Machine than a season of Jimmy Fallon.
Incredible.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Like those numbers are, and I don't
That's
know that for sure.
astronomical,
But like a Mr. Beast video, one video gets more views than the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
Mr. Beast, one YouTuber. Now, granted,
Yeah.
one of the biggest YouTubers arguably ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gets on one single video. And he does one a week. On a single video, he gets more views than the Super Bowl.
That's an amazing statistic.
Right? Like
Yeah.
not everyone, but they all get close.
Yeah.
But most of his videos, like more viewership than the Super Bowl.
Right. Okay. So when did the dream come about for doing a album?
10 years before I started comedy.
Okay.
That's what you...
And at that point, were you thinking a comedy album?
No, not really. But
You were just thinking, gotta be cool to
that
have
would
an
be
album.
super cool. I've even when I was a kid, I wanted to be a rock star, or I wanted to be
Performer of some sort.
I wanted to be a professional rollerblader. I wanted to be I think I said this on this podcast, but when I was 9, I went to Camp Snoopy.
Yep.
Fort Knox Camp Snoopy, and I got a caricature done, and he was asking me what I wanted to be when I grow up, and all I could talk about was being an impressionist and rollerblading, and and so there's a caricature of me at the age of 9 or 10 holding a microphone, and it says the Nathn the Impressionist, and it's like that's what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to talk into a microphone and make people laugh. And so we left after getting it. It was beautifully done. My parents still have it on their wall. When I left, I was like, I wanted to be a rollerblader. I was so disappointed. Now I'm very happy.
That's
that
awesome.
it's like.
Have you ever done comedy on rollerblades?
I have not. I haven't been on.
I think that's got to be in there somewhere.
I haven't done. That's a Tyler Walsh thing that I don't want to step on. The that would be fantastic.
Do you still rollerblade?
I don't. I haven't been on a rollerblade since I had an unfortunate incident playing hockey, and so I kind of my ankles can't take it anymore. So I might go back. We'll see. I've been on roller skates since, but
Okay.
not the actual blade.
So in the meantime, from Nate the Impressionist,
Yeah,
to making an album next week in front of a live audience.
yeah.
At what point did it become reality for you?
So the last 4 years, so right before the pandemic, I was was in talks with a couple people that could help me make an album, and get it produced and put out and stuff like that. And then obviously the world shut down, and so all the talks about that stopped because we didn't know if we were ever doing comedy again. And when it started to open back up and stuff like that, I was like, I want to do this still. And those avenues weren't coming back to me, which is, fine. That's their prerogative. But I started looking for a venue. And the venue is the hardest part, I think, because it has to be a place where you can draw a crowd. It has to be a place that has like a energy. It has to have this.
Gotta have a vibe.
Yeah, vibe. I feel like vibe doesn't do it justice either. Like,
because it's overused now.
Well, it's not even. It's just it has to have some mystique. Yeah. It's got to be, and then it's got to be able to be dark. It's got to have good sound. It's got to be able to fit enough people. It's also got to be small enough so it's not empty if you don't get enough people. And I looked at I probably looked at 50 venues in the area, just like even like renting a basement of a building, like let's show, like the old Nordic Hall, stuff like that, like trying to find anything that would be visually appealing as well as sounds good, as well as able to fit enough people that I wanted, and still get cameras in there and all that kind of stuff. And I was having a hard time getting everything I wanted. And for years, I mean, I've been working on this for 2 or 3 years, all while trying to build my act, make it strong, and figure out what I want to say. If I want to do like a full through, or if I just want some jokes, or all that kind of stuff. So building the hour as well as trying to find a place to do it. And then I had reached out to the Pavilion to look at the Belbis Theater. And my wife, who works there, was like, why don't you go talk to this person? And I talked to him, and he's like, hey, before you do that, we're starting this live and local. So like a week before submissions went live, he's like, before you do that, why don't you submit to this live and local that's going live in a week? And we can work on that. And so the Belbis Theater is my ideal
pretty
venue.
Well, perfect.
It's it's got great lighting. It's got great sound. It has the mystique. I've played there before, so I'm comfortable on that stage. It's a great spot, and it's an important place in town, and it's important to me. That was my first dream job, was working for the Washington Pavilion. And so like it all kind of came together right at the end. Right as I was like about to give up, I was even looking in Minnesota where I could draw, like my hometown. I was going to go into the gym stage in my middle school, where I got
not even the high school.
No, it's where I got my first laugh from an audience. Oh, right. So in 5th grade, we had a choir concert, and we did solos in this choir concert, and I chose. Ghost Riders in the Sky, Johnny Cash.
Great tune.
Mainly because I had just watched Blues Brothers 2000, and that song was in there, and it was my favorite song. And so, but I'm a soprano in 5th grade. Sing the Ghost Riders in the Sky, and so we had to bring it up 2 octaves, Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Oh, so you were like a rock star at that point, singing falsetto.
Absolutely. And so I came out in a cowboy hat, cowboy boots, and a pearl snap shirt, and the entire audience of my peers, 5th, 6th, and 7th graders, all break into a huge laugh. And they're not laughing with me.
They are laughing at you.
Dave, they're not laughing with me. And so this is like the preview for before the concert. So this is like for just the classmates. And my teacher spent 10 minutes lecturing all of the students how brave I am. I'm like, oh no, that's worse. So I was thinking about going back to that place and trying to do something there. But
Is there video of this?
No, there can't be.
Okay.
There can't
Because
be.
that would have been, if you had gone that route,
Yeah.
I could see that being the intro to it and so forth.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we could recreate it,
Yeah.
I'm sure. We could shoot it real cinematic. No, the pavilion is such a wonderful place, and they do such great for the community. I'm happy to be involved in this live and local thing. And then, Zach Dresch, my man, Zachy D in the place to be. Like, he is truly just something special, and him and I have been doing this for so long together. I couldn't have think of anyone better for a local opener. Like, just super excited about that. And then I don't know Joey, but he seems like a really nice guy, and I'm a fan of juggling. So
as am I, and I'm looking forward to it as a guy that produces variety shows.
Yeah.
I
Let's get
want to
his
see him.
number.
It's like,
Yeah,
okay, is this a future act for us?
Joe, he every interaction I've had with Joey has just been phenomenal. So I'm super excited and super grateful for the opportunity. I'm producing it all myself. I have so many kind friends that are helping me out. So, Zeke Richter and Johnson and Brookings, if I can shout them out.
Of course.
And then the guys from the Last Stop series. So are all kind of pitching in to help with the video. And then my best friend and business partner, Corey, is going to take care of the sound. As well as Del Pope, who's running sound at the Washington.
So you've got the whole thing covered.
I got my dream team.
Yeah.
I got my dream team. Usually when people do an album from like a record company or anything, they send their people, they set up the venue, they do all that stuff. And so I'm kind of lucking out where I get to, kind of things are just falling in place for me, and I'm really excited about the act.
Well,
I think.
and it should, everything should fall in place for you with how long you've been doing this, the drive that you have.
Yeah.
But how did things start?
With comedy?
Well, we've talked about it, before that you
Yeah.
did the special study in Augie and so forth. But in terms of now everything falling into place, what was it like when you first started?
It's miserable.
Yeah.
I mean, I drove my wife crazy because I'm talking, like, I'll start in the middle of conversations with her, like I'll be like, what do you think of this place? Oh no, they don't have great lighting, like, I have such I get so hyper focused on something, and so I've been hyper focused on this for 2 years. So I think my wife is gonna finally be like, okay, we can breathe, and I'm excited. We can breathe. Unless it doesn't go well and I have to shoot it again, and then we start at square one. But no, it's kind of a tough thing because my friends have done it. Shout out Dan Bublitz. He did one where he couldn't find a venue, so he made his basement a venue. Yeah, and Strangers in My Basement it's a fantastic album. And he we were at Snow Jam, which is the festival we produced. It's no longer with us.
Tears.
Yeah, I mean, The Office ended when it should, right? Or, maybe some people disagree, but what was I saying? You're gonna have to cut this part out.
No, I don't edit. Very rarely. I would much rather have the conversation. In 200, this will be episode 228. I have edited 4 times.
4 times.
4.
You get the raw audio, people.
I love it.
That's great.
Because it's unless somebody has like a gap of a minute,
sure,
or they just can't think, or they, forgot their cast that they were going to mention, and things along that line. I'll do that, but otherwise, you just sitting there going, "Now, where the hell was I?" I have no problem with that.
Dan Bublitz reaches over to me after I did very well at Snow Jam, and he goes, "It's ready." And that meant a lot. Dan and I are great friends, but we're not
and he'll be on next week's show.
We're not complimentary to each other in person. We absolutely ride or die for the guy, but we don't compliment each other a lot. That's just the nature of our thing. And he just goes, "Dude, it's ready. Get it on Get it on wax. Stop it.
That's awesome.
Knock it off. So that was a little bit of the kick in the pants of like, all right, let's really make this work. Start actively searching instead of passively searching. And then, like I'll have a venue in mind, and I'll be like, okay, in 7 months, I'm gonna do this at this place, and then that venue will close, or not be able to work with and stuff like that. So it's been a long journey to this, but I am excited about this. Like, this is because the Belbus was always out of reach, right? It was too much money. You can't get that to work. They'll never book me like that. All that kind of stuff. And so it's just kind of worked as a perfect situation.
Yeah, because then it's they're in charge of all the ticketing and so forth too.
Yeah, I don't have to mess with a lot of that stuff.
Oh man, that's sweet.
It's great. It's very good.
All right, so it's coming up on Thursday, the 16th of May. What time does that show start?
7:30 p.m.
7:30. Okay.
Yep.
So I do have time to go over across the street and have pizza at Marabella's first.
Ooh,
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, going to have a friend in town, too. So,
yes, that's right. Your friend from Denver.
Yeah, from Colorado is going to be in there. So that'll be a good time. And looking forward to that first of all, looking forward to always seeing you on stage. Looking forward to seeing Zach on stage. Looking forward to seeing the Juggler.
Yeah,
and
Joey.
see if Joey the Juggler is going to be a Vaughties participant. But also just love going to live and local. Supporting things, especially, people get on us a lot. They say, well, did you go see such and such? Oh, you mean the Broadway show at the Pavilion? No. Then I'll say, by the way, did you see Nathn Hults? No. Did you see Goodnight Theater? No.
Sweeney Todd was so good.
Wasn't that amazing?
It was so good. It was so good. And I don't even like the show, Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Like, I don't,
But
it's not
it was-
my show, but they did every aspect of that show, from the costumes to the scene to the acting to the directing to the choreography, was a absolute knockout.
Spot on. Yeah.
Knockout.
Just absolutely.
That
loved
is
it.
crazy that we have that, like, we can achieve that in Sioux Falls, which is, like, every time people say stuff like, oh, I was like, I point at, that's an example of what can be done if people care locally.
Yeah, and so support local. Goodness gracious. Like my friend Matt D., singer-songwriter, he put out a meme one time about, you want to support local artists? Buy their merch.
Yeah, buy their merch.
Because
Absolutely.
he has a lot out there, and he's done very, very well.
Yeah.
He says, but 1 million downloads gets me like $10.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
I love that you love the song. Now come to the show and sing along.
Yeah, and watch it and buy a T-shirt. Will you have some swag for sale?
Oh, baby. I'll show you off mic, but I just... so some of my merch I tie-dye myself and then print it myself with my family, with my daughter and my wife. And so we just did 3 different dye batches. And so we're going to have some pretty cool tie-dye shirts. I'll show you one, a sample after... I mean, it won't help on a podcast. I could show you now, but I don't think that's good content.
No. Will there be 2X available?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We're talking.
I got you. You're slimming down. You're looking good, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Looking good.
245 right now. Yeah.
Killing it. Crushing
Yeah.
it. Awesome, man.
Doing well, feeling better.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I got a good doctor, though, too. So.
Yeah. I hear he's a bit of an asshole. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
No, but he's had a finger. I never get tired of that part when it comes to you and your brother being a doctor. Oh, yeah.
He's a great doctor.
He is.
Great
He's
doctor.
absolutely phenomenal. In fact, so much so that tried to get an appointment with him if you've not been with him before. 2025?
Yeah. The good ones are always taken.
That they are. All right. So I'm getting the feeling that you are just as excited about your act for this as the whole production part of it and so forth. The cool part, hey, I'm doing an album. Yeah. But you said,
my act is strong.
This is it.
It's a clean show.
Yeah.
I'm not cursing.
Yeah.
It's nothing is people will find something to be offended
Of course.
about, but I don't think it's inherently offensive. And so, you don't have to feel like, oh, I like comedy, but I don't know if they're going to,
Right.
do that stuff. And so this act is basically like my love letter to clean comedy. I love clean comedy, and I do it when asked and when when I'm feeling it. And this is that. And so I feel really strong about the bits. I feel really strong about the narrative. I love the beats in it. I think the jokes and the stories are strong. If I hope I'm right, but I've gotten good feedback over the last 13 years I've been building this hour. So, I'm very excited about it. I get to say stuff I like to say. So,
How many man hours go into that 1 hour?
I've been doing it for this 13. There's a joke from like my first 2 years. I've been doing it for 12 years.
Yeah.
There's a joke that I've been doing for 12 years in this.
And still gets the response you want.
It's people's favorite bit of mine. Is
it about a particular family vacation?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
It is.
I've been doing that. That bit started as a story that I told on stage, with no jokes in it. It's moved up and improvised and stuff like that. It's just grown a crazy amount. It's. All of these have been just told, you don't want to ruin the mystique or the, that it's all coming off the fresh of the dome. But at one point it did. And so I'm really excited. I'm really excited to say these and get them recorded. I'm also ready to retire some of them. They're ready to be done. They're ready.
You want to hear that one again? Go get your record.
By putting it on a record, you're closing it, right? Because right now, all of these jokes are unfinished. I'm going to finish the work. And I'm going to put it out, and then I can move on to some new. And I've already got a new half hour ready that I haven't been able to work on, that I'm pretty excited about, but I haven't had time or energy to work on that because I have to put all I can into this album. So I'm excited to start working on the new stuff too. And by doing this, I can put the old stuff to rest, or I can at least have the confidence to be like, all right, I don't need to work on it anymore. It's already out. That's just what it's going to be, So
how do you rehearse? Do you have a process?
Yeah, you get on stage and you tell it to people.
Yeah.
And
By doing the open mics and so forth.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, I don't get to hit the open mics a whole lot anymore because my schedule has changed drastically. My wife took a new project that she's very, very excited about, and so I get to play dad, which is cool. I get to be the parent for a little bit. My wife is so good at parenting that a lot of times take a back seat. And so when it's just me and my daughter, I get to spend some real quality time.
That's awesome.
And that correlates when open mics would be. So
yeah,
I'm doing it a lot in front of big audiences, like people that are paying me to do shows and stuff like that. And so a lot of times I'll write something. I meet with a comedian friend of mine every Thursday, and we kind of go over the joke, and him and I will riff it out and try to find some like other places to go. So like, if the joke is, I think people say, what is the joke I just started was, tattoos are so addicting, is what people who have no life experience say. And so we'll riff on that for 20 to 40 minutes while we're eating breakfast at, the cracked pot or whatever. So
what's the most exciting part of putting this show together?
Seeing all my friends come to see it for the last time. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like it's I don't play in Sioux Falls a whole lot.
Right.
And that's by design. It's for when I have moments like these, I want people to come see me and not be burnt out on me and stuff like that. And so I'm excited to play in Sioux Falls again, and I'm excited to play at this theater again. I'm excited to show what I've been working on and doing. That's what I'm excited about. Did that answer the question?
Yes,
I think
it did.
Yeah.
Okay. And excited to see you on stage on Thursday, the 16th, 7:30 p.m., Belbus Theater, the Washington Pavilion. How do people get tickets?
If you go to WashingtonPavilion.org, look for the live and local. Mine will be the third name, so it's Joey Columbi, Zach Dresch, and Nathn Hults. But if you get tickets there, otherwise you can get them at the door. Please get them in advance. It kind of helps us know what we can do.
Right.
If we need to open up the balcony, which would be, wow, I would be in tears the whole time. So maybe let's not do that.
Yeah, because with the balcony open, is it 600 holds?
No.
Oh,
no.
not
That's
quite that much?
that whole theater holds just under 300.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Orpheum 600 or something.
no, that's a little over 4.
Where did 600 come into my mind?
It might be closer to 5, maybe, but I've looked at all these places.
I know the seats by name.
Yeah, it's 280 rows, all that stuff. So, well, this one you can do. Anyway, I've been looking at venues for so long for this, and I'm just so excited to be doing the thing I've been wanting to do for a long time, and at a level that I'm very excited about. So, sorry,
Can't
I'm
wait,
just
man.
so excited.
Yeah,
Can you tell?
just a little bit, yeah. All right, as a several-time guest on this show, you have answered many times the when you're not part of the entertainment scene, etc. So we got to change it up a little bit right now. So, do you have a particular word that you kind of have as your mantra that you live by? Yeah.
Lately, I saw this video of it was like an influencer talking to someone on the street, and you look at the video and it looks like they're about to make fun of this man. Like this video, they picked this guy to kind of be like a target, and
Kind of a pigeon.
And somebody walks between the camera and the people having an interview, and he goes, "What the hell?" And then the guy says, "Don't." Oh, I'm gonna mess this up. Don't attribute malice to what you could to ignorance.
Ooh.
And I've been really loving that. Right? Everyone is in their own thing. Everyone's dealing with their own stuff. And so I'm trying my best to not attribute malice when it could just be, and ignorance isn't the best word, but I think
I think it's a good word.
But
for that.
not that they're ignorant, it's that they have ignorance to what was happening in that moment. What's going on with you. So I've been trying to deal with that lately, and I think that has been my mantra these last couple a year or so. Just that is. Also, did you ever hear? Sorry, theology and philosophy and all this stuff. But did you ever hear this story about the farmer and his son? I think it's in a movie, but they've also recently had it on like motivational stuff. But it's where the farmer loses his horse, and his neighbor comes over and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry you lost your horse." He goes, "Who knows what's good? Who knows what's bad?" Right? And then a week later, the horse comes back and brings 6 different horses, right? 6 new horses to us. And the neighbor comes over and is like, "Oh, that was super lucky." He goes, "Who knows what's good and what's bad?" And then his son, while trying to break the horses, breaks his foot. And his neighbor comes over, that's bad. And he goes, "Well, who knows what's good, what's bad?" And then recruitment comes, right, to be drafted. But since the son has a broken foot, he can't be drafted, right? So who knows what's good, who knows what's bad. So I do love we don't know what everything will lead to. Yeah. And so that has also been kind of
I love it.
My positivity mantra of I need to just remember that even though bad things have happened, it's led to good things. Right. And so who knows what's good and what's bad. Yeah. And so I wish I could take any credit for any of these, but I'm just seeing them on YouTube as I scroll through at 2 a.m. and I'm like, that one connected.
See, I'm one of those. I'm a big believer when it comes to things that have happened in the past being bad. and so forth is that, okay, assess your life right at this exact moment. Are you happy to be where you are?
Yeah.
Right now. Well, yeah. Forget the past. Any small thing out of that changed. You aren't here right now.
I would amend to say forgive. Don't forget.
Forgive is a huge word.
I wouldn't say forget, because you got to remember, right?
Yeah.
Don't forgive. Don't forget.
Good point.
You know, but that's exactly it. I've made some huge mistakes, and I've made, I've the fact that I'm still here right now, is because I've worked on growth and stuff. I mean, I don't think we have time to get into it. But I'm so grateful to be where I'm at, to have the love that I receive from this community, from the community of stand-up comics. I've been treated with such respect lately in the world of comedy that it's really touching and really humbling. So I'm really happy right now, and I feel like some of the work I've been doing all these years without thinking I'm getting, you do all this stuff and you think you're not getting appreciated and stuff like that. And that's all your own. You don't need to be appreciated. Do the thing you want to do. And so it is nice to be appreciated, and several years later and stuff like that. So
I also think of that when it comes to performing, especially. I love the quote about don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't ask the opinion of.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
I do follow that one a lot.
I got a letter. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so long-winded.
Oh, don't worry. This show is going to go very, very long, because up next will be John Gaskins and Randy Preston from the Sioux Falls Canaries to talk about all the fun stuff they have coming up for the season.
They've got a great season coming up.
Yeah, they do. And John holds the record yet for the longest single interview.
Okay.
Of an hour and 7 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, I'm going to try and keep them both to 45 or something. Yeah. And I think I asked 2 questions of John that interview for the hour and 7. Yeah.
I even forgot what I was like, oh, we can't get into the weeds of this. I don't remember.
You were talking about the love you were getting from the community, and then we were talking about, when you get criticism.
I received a letter from a patron of my show. He and I had met previously at my place of employment, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to be in your town doing shows," and he showed up. He sent me a letter saying, criticizing everything I had said. It was a PG-13 show, and he thought it should have been, that it was too offensive. And other people didn't enjoy it, and blah, 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 blah. And he sent it to my place of work because he didn't have my address. He sent a handwritten 2-page letter, and I let that get to me for a week. Like, I let it stew, and I was like, you know what? That guy, there was no pleasing that guy. And so I also got to be like, he wasn't my audience. Why am I trying to appease this human that didn't stay for the rest of the show, didn't ask to have a conversation with me about it, just left in a huff. You know what I mean? Like he was going to be, and then it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Like the preacher that had 100 people in his congregation. Mm-hmm. And 99 of them absolutely loved him.
Yeah.
But this one guy hated him. Yeah. And so then he wanted to find out what it was. And he switched things around. And then he had one person that loved him and 99 that hated him.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Nathn Hults, my friend. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
I always appreciate you and what you do for this community. I don't know if you get enough gratitude that you just, but this is such a wonderful platform for this community.
Well,
like this was the first thing I thought of. Like, well, I need to do the Dave Holly Hour. And
After all, I got this keychain.
I ran into you at the late night booming taping. No spoilers that you're on that one. But I was just like, I haven't reached out to him. I need to do it. So thank you so much for having me on.
Anytime.
And thank you for highlighting and spotlighting the arts like you do.
Oh, I appreciate that. And you should know by now you have carte blanche. You ever want to be on this show, just say, hey, Dave, you got time?
Yeah, I'm going to call you. I'll just become the co-host, and I'll just come right over here. And I'll just
that would be
take
awesome. I've got thoughts running through my mind now. All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. And we'll be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Comedy magician and hypnotist Jesse Moffat's right. He can't play the piano, but he can sure entertain crowds with his amazing magic and clever quips. His shows always make the participants the stars, especially when they've fallen asleep on stage. They've been hypnotized. Are you the party planner in your group? Then you owe it to your group to make the event magical, even if it puts you to sleep. Here's how.
For booking information, go to Jesse Moffitt Entertainment on Facebook. That's JESSEMOFFITT. Or call 605-929-0964.
Check out the new ceramic studio in Sioux Falls, conveniently located off Kiwanis Avenue on 5th Street. TJS Ceramics, inside Oscar's Mini Storage. Bisque, studio time, painting parties, and finished items are available. Visit TJS Ceramic Studio in Sioux Falls today.
People ask him where he got his top shelf voice. Dime store? Bargain. Once again, here's Dave Holly.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, yes, you know I love to say it right off the bat. It is always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire arts and entertainment, and sometimes that entertainment includes sports. Why? Because you go out to a baseball game at the Sioux Falls Canaries, you will be treated to plenty of entertainment. The PA man, he's back for his second time on the show. Randy Preston, how are you?
I am doing great.
Good. Glad to have you along. And this is a Stroke Plus One.
Stroke Plus One.
Yeah,
That's right.
okay,
Yeah.
We're not talking golf here.
No.
Give us. Before we move on, just
on February 21st,
Mhm.
I was getting ready to go to some doctor's appointments over in Minnesota with my family, getting the car cleaned out and ready to go, and I had a stroke at the car wash.
Wow.
Got back in the car, tried to drive home, got lost on my way home, and called my wife at that point, and her and my son Trevor found me because I didn't know where I was. They used our a little locator app we have on our phone, got me to the hospital within 25 minutes of the onset of the stroke. Got a great doctor and group of doctors there, clotbuster drug, and I was really back to normal in about 3 hours.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. I had heard that you were less than 24-hour turnaround.
Yes.
That's
and
incredible.
Back on the mic for Augustana Hockey
That's
on
right.
Friday night. That was a Wednesday stroke and a Friday night on the mic.
Yeah, okay. Well, and, since you are a PA man,
yes,
you should probably introduce the other guest that's in the room.
Oh, I can certainly do that.
Yes.
Are we ready?
I am.
Let's do that. And now, without further ado,
Actually, lots of doo-doo.
do join me in welcoming our next guest. I'd like to present some people who want to pay loving tribute to him. I couldn't find any, so I guess I'm going to have to do it. Here's a man who needs no introduction. However, he insists on me doing that.
It's true.
A man considered world famous in a small part of Turner County. A man who's made... I'm not sure. A man who's made anonymity a household name. Someone who has done more for baseball entertainment than the Titanic did for winter cruises.
All right.
He's ahead of his
That means
time.
I made an impact.
Yeah, well, he's
Thank you.
ahead of his time, but let's not get picky over a couple of minutes. Well, just last week he hosted a telethon for ingrown toenails.
Oh.
Woo!
Because all the good diseases were already taken. Someone who's clever, witty, and I could go on, but I'm having a hard time reading his handwriting. It's Mr. John Gaskins.
Thank you very much. You almost didn't have a stroke reading that.
I almost didn't.
The thing about Randy is every now and then when on the rare Halley's Comet moments at a Canaries game where he trips on his words, you actually use the line.
I use the line. I turn and I look at my buddy Chris, and I say, Chris, I'd tell you if I was having a stroke. I promise.
And that's one of the many things Randy might say. A, because it's funny and entertaining, but B, as they can look down at the entire crowd from their perch just to see if anyone's listening.
Oh, true. Yeah, very much on
like
that
to
part.
slip a few past people.
We try.
Yeah. Words are hard.
They are.
Right.
Yeah.
So just to clarify for the people that haven't heard the previous several episodes of this show that John Gaskins has been on. It's John Gaskins.
Yes.
Oh, did I get that wrong?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't listening.
Jan
Jan Gaston.
That's
or
fine.
it could have been. He could have been a Jan.
Jan.
Yeah. I
Jan.
like Jan.
Jan Gaston.
Jan's cool. Jan Gaston.
That might be it.
That
might be the name this year.
I was thinking Malibu Ken.
Okay.
But Malibu Jan. I don't know.
What was it? My first year we did Living on a Prayer with the French version of, I don't know what it was. I dressed as a French version of, I was just Jean Bon Jovi.
Jean Bon Jovi.
Jean Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't quite have a wig that looked like John Bon Jovi, but one that was close enough to making me look like a French guy from 1985. That's what we do. Only the best at the Birdcage.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that the tradition will carry on with a guy with big
Idiocy?
glasses.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Is that,
you have to have Harry Canary. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you? Up at
There
the
he
top
is.
there. Yes.
Hey, did you just break that out of the box tonight when I could be here?
We actually have two. One's down in the Firefly Oasis.
Okay. Firefly Oasis. You know what that spelled backwards is?
Haven't even tried.
Neither
it
do
yet.
I. I have no idea. So, help me out.
That sounds French.
No, anyway. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Harry Canary.
Harry
is who you're
Canary
referring
will
to.
be back as per usual.
Uh-huh.
And what do we have? A total of 50 homers, home games?
50 home games.
50 home games. Excellent. So as you have been saying for the past couple of years, John, 50 parties.
That's right.
Yeah.
50 celebrations, just in
Yes.
case any of the management is listening.
Oh, that's what the word this year is?
Well, yes.
Celebration.
Well, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
50 celebrations then.
Shows.
Which
Randy
was
and I call them
shows,
shows.
yes.
Shows.
They're
Yeah,
shows for
they
us.
are,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
When you think about it, even when it just comes to, just the facts, ma'am, when you're on a microphone, it's still entertaining.
Mhm.
And even when it's the informative part, it's still entertaining.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
And I know that both of you obviously love what you do, and it shows through when people go out to the Sioux Falls Stadium, a.k.a. the Birdcage, and enjoy taking in a nice game, but also fun. And you really strive for that, and it's evident in the work that you both do.
100%. We really pride ourselves in being as entertaining as we possibly can be. We know that not everybody that's out there at the ballpark are baseball fans, but it's all about families. It's all about having a good time at the ballpark, having some what I like to call some great ballpark food. You know, that ice cold hot dog and a warm beer with dirt in it. It's all part of the experience.
Once again, to see if people are paying attention.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is right.
But we have a great time while we're out there. And John and I have, I think, a really, really good working relationship. We spent a lot of time kind of honing our bits, so to speak.
The sessions where we brainstorm what we're going to do, to me is as fun as what we do. Sometimes more fun. But
Is that
we
before
also
the
have
beer stand's open?
It depends.
Maybe.
Yeah. But it's it's also Randy and I share a fairly similar sense of humor that not everybody shares. So we'd like to pass our ideas by people of other ages and senses of humor. But a lot of what we do is planned because we want to bring out the best of our ideas, and then some of what we do is right there in the moment for everybody to hear, for better or for worse. We're setting ourselves on fire. Or putting it out. I don't know, but it's fun.
And it's amazing how often some of the stuff that we think is stupid and is going to bomb actually succeeds and is incredibly hilarious.
Yeah.
And then there's the lead balloon times.
Yeah.
No, never happens. Again, those can be more. Sometimes those are more fun.
They're particularly fun for us.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's always been my mantra out there that if I can make one person laugh, as long as it's me, somebody's bound to be entertained.
Your other one is something about kicking and screaming, having.
Oh
fun
yeah,
kicking.
we'll grab fans and we'll make them laugh, kicking and screaming all the way home.
Yeah.
We'll drag them along with us.
When is opening night? The home opener.
It's Friday, May 17th.
All right.
So it is coming up. Yeah, man.
Yeah, fun times.
Fireworks right away on a Friday night. Gotta love it.
Continuing fireworks on Fridays?
Of course.
Yes. Awesome.
Of course.
Awesome. What else can we expect on opening night then?
It's a baseball is back night. I mean, typically our season openers there's no frills to it. It's we're excited to have baseball, and what we do is, I mean, we treat it like a league championship game or a World Series game, from the fact that when you walk in, at least this has been the case the last several years, you're going to see some American flag bunting in the place.
So okay.
You're probably going to have the quote unquote championship lineups. Is that correct?
Championship lineups for both teams.
And for the non-baseball fans here, what does that mean?
That means we announce every single player on both teams.
Yeah.
And we will end each of the team announcements with the starting lineup for that team.
Yeah, this is nothing that's probably going to sparkle to the point where people listening are like, "Oh, now I got to go to home opening night." But I'm telling you, it's more of it really is for just baseball lovers and Sioux Falls Canaries lovers. People have been coming out here for 5, 10, 15, 30 years who really, just like season openers in Major League Baseball, we're just thrilled to have it back. And we're going to have plenty of entertainment, but there's never a special theme. And I think it's mostly because let's just honor the fact that we're the Canaries and baseball's back. Yeah.
And of course, behind the scenes, it's because we're all scrambling to try to figure everything out again.
How did we do this
Keep
last
it simple.
year?
Yeah,
Exactly.
that may be a part of it too. Yes.
What are some of the things we'll see throughout the year, however?
We're going to have on Saturday night, as John gets out his promotional calendar,
also known as his phone.
We are going to have, well, first of all, let me start with this. Let's go in no particular order.
Okay.
There will be Christmas in July.
Okay.
You want to get more excited about that?
Not after the past few years.
But I was told today there will be a very special Santa Claus there this year. Stop if you've heard that one before.
Yeah.
There will be a very special Santa Claus this year if he so does accept the invitation.
Okay.
Okay, that's an okay.
Perfect. I love it.
I'm also hoping to win the lottery this weekend.
Yeah, that's fair. By God, we're going to have a Seinfeld night this year. We're bringing that back. We had that 3 or 4 years ago. It's going to be on a fireworks Friday night. And
well, aren't they doing a revamp anyway, or a movie of some sort?
Well, I haven't heard that.
A Seinfeld, like reunion.
Are they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and in the meantime, he's got a movie on Netflix, Unfrosted.
I did see that.
Oh, you've seen?
I haven't
already?
seen the movie. I've seen the trailer for it.
Oh, yeah, because I've seen the trailer and seen some interviews about it.
I saw the movie.
And?
I would highly recommend it. I think you guys would like it a lot.
Yeah.
Have you seen, did you like Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's not, the material is not as, I guess, dirty or sophomoric as Dumb and Dumber. It's family friendlier, but it's just a joke machine. It's just a joke a minute.
Good.
It's making absurd. Yeah. It's making absurd light of a fictional true story.
Yeah.
About the creation of the Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
And from just how in Jerry Seinfeld's own mind, how the geniuses, the executives at these battling cereal companies in Battle Creek, Michigan, landed on all these, what it is, how it's happened, and who was the brain trust, the geniuses that put this all together to revolutionize breakfast with something that isn't even food. And my favorite part is the kid. I don't want There's these two. It basically everything about's a fluke. Basically, that's his thing. Like this was all a fluke, but it kind of started with this. Jerry Seinfeld plays an executive at Kellogg, and he discovers he's snooping around the grounds of Post, in the same city right across the street, basically, and he finds in the and he just stumbles upon a couple of like 10-year-old kids in a dumpster. And he's like, "What are you guys doing in there?" And they're kind of like drug addicts, except for their eating goo. It's the goo, man, the goo. And it's like these buckets of goo, the goo that, you get in Pop-Tarts. And that's how he kind of stumbled, like Post was created. What is going on here? And then
Post is run by Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah. What's that?
Jim Gaffigan's in the movie.
He runs Kellogg. He's the Kellogg guy. Amy Schumer runs Post, and of course, nothing in cinema, in mainstream cinema, is going to go with, no matter what genre, suspense, horror, comedy, drama, without a love story here. So, connect the dots yourself.
Yep. All right.
So I almost gave a review that was shorter than the movie. You're welcome. It was good.
Hey.
It was good, though.
We're only 15 minutes in. We usually go an hour 7.
All right. Yeah. I won't give away the whole promotional schedule. It's on our website at sfcanaries.com. But along the movie theme, we'll have an I'm Ron Burgundy night.
That I'm looking forward to
Yes.
because whatever they put on the script, I am reading that night.
Well, you should put some stuff on the script yourself.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay classy, Sioux Falls.
Yes.
I'll be very careful.
Yeah.
Keep it family friendly.
Yeah. We're looking forward to that, and I hope we have a bobblehead for it, but I'm not sure if we do. But yeah, we're honoring the movie Anchorman and showing a lot of clips from that movie, and it's interesting because I kind of tickle that toothache. You're supposed to avoid toothaches and mosquito bites, but you can't help but touch them or itch them. And I just looked at the comments.
I itch my teeth all the time, and I've bitten a few other things.
I saw just an at-large Facebook posting about Jerry Seinfeld and Unfrosted, and somebody trying to review it said it was a poor man's version of, or it was Jerry trying to do Anchorman, which A, I don't agree with, but B, I would say it's, again, I think Unfrosted would fall in the category. Dumb and Dumber, Anchorman, it's pure candy, pure junk food. Junk food for the soul for 90 minutes.
Oh,
anyway.
Love that type of thing.
Yes.
It's needed.
Yeah. Kind of like
everything else
what you get at the birdcage sometimes. Between innings.
I think we need to write a book. Junk food for the soul.
There's going to be something about goo this year then?
Yes.
Come get your goo at the ball field.
If we knew about, I think when the staff put together the promotional schedule back in, it was a while. I think if they knew about a Pop-Tarts movie coming out, there might have been something there. So maybe there still could be. I don't know. But we'll have a beer fest. We'll have a beer fest night. Denim and Dukes, Sioux Falls Best Happy Hour, Classic Cars Night. We'll have
no. Rewind. Sioux Falls Best Happy Hour.
Sioux Falls Best Happy Hour.
I believe we have 4 Thursday home games.
Yes.
That start at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're planning on doing happy hour on those Thursdays.
Excuse me, I still need to breathe out.
Thirsty Thursdays, man. Get ready to indulge in Sioux Falls Best Happy Hour, presented by Willikers, where we're serving up the best deals in Sioux Falls. Gates swing open at 3:05. First pitch scheduled for 4:05, and quench that thirst with fantastic drink specials. $3 domestic beers, and before the first pitch, and $2 off beers throughout the game. So that's Sioux Falls Best Happy Hour on July 11th. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a deal.
Yeah. We've got, we'll bring back some classics, which are actual soul food for the soul.
Okay.
Crush Cancer Night, Military Appreciation Night, stuff we're always going to do at the Birdcage, which are, I mean, you can speak. Randy, I think, steals. I shouldn't say steals the show because it's about cancer awareness, but you do a wonderful job with the most important moment in that game, which is,
well, we read cancer survivors and we
Yes.
talk about cancer survivors, and it's highly emotional for me because I have a sister who's a cancer survivor. I had a dad who passed away a couple of years ago, but also a cancer survivor, and so it's quite important for me, and so I get pretty emotional during some of those games and some of those reads in particular.
but there's that one moment in the game when
we have all the cancer survivors in the game, or people who are either cancer survivors who have family members who are cancer survivors, stand up, and we honor everybody. It's a wild moment.
I have the feeling that the applause is longer than 10 seconds.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So, and it's again something. It's supposed to be entertainment. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be the reason people come out, and hopefully a really good team. Whenever the Canaries do have a really good team, gosh, it's so much fun.
Yes, it is.
It makes it somehow makes the beer colder and the entertainment better, and Randy and my job a little easier. We're always willing to step up to the challenge when the team is struggling, but it's also about just bringing the community together. People of all ages, people of all walks of life coming to the ballpark and getting together and honoring and recognizing the common link that is cancer in everybody's lives. And a night like Military Appreciation Night, which obviously the title speaks for itself.
Yeah, always good to see that too. So what is missing for you guys? What are the things that the two of you have been thinking of that you would love to have out there that hasn't taken place yet?
Oh boy,
there's a lot.
Back to those idea sessions.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see a backwards night where we play the game starting in the 9th inning and play it backwards.
Oh.
That's been done before. One of my favorite Mike Veck promotions was Lawyer Appreciation Night, where all the fans would put in for a drawing and they'd get a free session with an attorney, and the attorneys had to pay 4 times the amount to get in. I mean, it's just those little things along those lines.
Yeah.
We are going to be having pet dog nights every Wednesday again this year. So those are always fun nights where people can bring their pets to the ballpark.
Special on hot dogs into it?
I'm sure.
Okay, yeah.
We've had a lot of also brainstormed ideas about contests on the field.
Oh, great.
Where we just don't, we haven't been able to pull them off logistically.
Yeah.
We'll just put it that way. And sometimes we don't have the
Because you have 90 seconds, basically.
90 seconds and the proper props. But I'd love to bring back, somebody was reminding me the other day, and I think this was during the Randy era. You've been on the mic now for 11 years. Didn't we have something involving bungees? Like
yes.
2 people? Yes.
Aw snap.
Yeah.
Aw snap.
Yeah.
We put 2 burly gentlemen, tie them back to back to a bungee cord, put a traffic cone just out of reach of each of them, and place a baseball on top of the traffic cone, and then say go. And they'd run away from each other. The first person to get the baseball wins. We did unfortunately have to discontinue that due to some insurance issues that we were having.
Exactly. But you're asking what I wish we wish we could have there. Yeah.
I have an idea that I'd really like to try this summer. I have talked to Allie about it already. We'll see if it happens or not. Human cornhole. Have dad and a kid.
Uh-huh.
The dad lays down on the ground with his arms up like this, and the kid throws water balloons at him, and then you'd have 2 of them, and whoever gets the most water balloons on their dad wins the prize.
I love it.
Human cornhole.
Oh, I like it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a dandy.
And back to his point of how sometimes things that kind of happen in the moment or that we don't expect to be big hits, and they, for some reason, you just feel this bluster of fans just guffawing. So you get your wheels cranking there.
Okay.
I'll start it off. Like last year, it must have been some dog promotion related night of some degree, but we had we like to do races that span the entire outfield from the third base line to the first base line. And a pretty typical one that is a crowd pleaser that we love bringing back is the rescue race, where you have like 3 kids lined up behind second base, shallow center field, and they're all small enough that parents can pick them up comfortably and carry them and run while carrying them. So, and then the parents will line up behind third base. They'll sprint, run as fast as they can to get to the kids and pick them up and take them and cross them across the first base line. The rescue race, which was a spawn of it was our first responders night. Yeah, where we tried to get police and firemen out there to be the rescuers, and then we just turned it into an every night thing. But another version of that, and we may have called it supermarket sweep. I don't know what it was, but remember this?
It was a Christmas shopping event for Christmas in July last year.
Okay, there you go.
Eddie's Walmart run.
Thank you. Yes, our Christmas in July was a bobblehead for Cousin Eddie. From National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Okay, go on. So tell us
same basic concept of a race, but we got a couple of shopping carts, put I think like 3 giant bags of dog food out behind second base.
Yes.
So they had to grab the shopping cart.
It was husband versus wife.
Okay,
we found a husband-wife duo. Yes.
Oh.
Push the carts behind the infield.
Yeah.
Grab the big giant thing of dog food, throw it in the cart. We had something else too, I thought, didn't we?
I think that was it.
We should have had light bulbs, because that would have been perfect. But throw the dog food in the shopping cart and the race to the third baseline. I thought it turned out incredibly funny.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. What do you think it was? Because it was husband versus wife, and of course the wife won, or I don't know.
It worked.
And it was an adaptation of something, of a concept we do quite often, but for some reason it resonated. And we've talked about this 2 or 3 years ago, where one night one of us decided for me to be Ric Flair as the MC, and it was one of our best nights of that season. And why?
It's just little weird things. We had a soundbite of Ric Flair's "Woo!"
Yeah.
I'll bet we played that soundbite 500 times that night, and every time we played it, the crowd would echo back.
Yeah.
And after the game that night, there were people walking out to their cars,
still wooing.
It was just probably one of the most fun pieces of fan engagement we've ever done, and it was just stupid.
One word.
One word.
And so we bring it out every now and then.
Yeah.
And Ric Flair doesn't have to be hosting to do it. Sometimes we practice this before the games with the fans. We'll just let's practice, everybody. Okay,
it's going to come up later on.
Chris plays a sound, and okay, woo, 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 and we keep doing it until people stop.
Ad nauseum.
But they don't stop. It's like the more you just bludgeon people over the head with it, the more they love it, I guess.
All right. One of the things you talk about often for theme nights are movies. What's the movie each of you would love to see as a theme night?
Animal House.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
I've got the prop. I'll come out. I'll be
blue. We could have an all-stadium toga party.
Oh, yeah.
Or an all-stadium food fight.
Why not both?
We could do that.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't want to be the one cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of references there that probably will. Some of the best references of that movie are probably not very friendly.
Oh, but
the possibilities that we could have using an entire field. Yeah. I don't know. I gotta draw back on some of the nights we've had. We did have a caddy. I'm trying to think of some of my favorite movies. We did have a Caddyshack night. We did have a Dumb and Dumber night.
Yes.
Ferris Bueller's Night Off.
That was fun.
I was a big fan.
We had we represented the parade during one of the half innings and had we had a conga line.
Donka Shane?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have that too? Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We did that. And I'm sorry. Now I'm totally skirting your question, but back to sometimes we'll have ideas, and sometimes they will not come to fruition, whether it's for a specific promotion or a specific bit during the promotion, during the night. And we had a promotion that was going to celebrate 420 one year, or we were going to announce it on 420. Never came to fruition. It was legal pot night.
Yeah.
Simple, like at first 500 fans get a pot. Yeah, to put flowers in. Yeah. Legal pot night. And we were going to announce it on 420. But it didn't happen. They didn't want to pull the trigger on that. But one that we did, then I saw other places. I swear we did. I swear that it was us first, and then I saw somebody else do it. Was a Seinfeld night with the Elaine dance-off.
Oh, yes.
Now, we just had one Elaine. That was one of our interns who looked a lot like Elaine and had the same hair. And this was a 22-year-old lady who she admitted she had never seen Seinfeld.
Oh, my.
But she became a fan once I showed her some clips on TikTok. And then she nailed it. I mean, she practiced the bad Elaine, dance with the gyrations and the thumbs. And then a year or two later, I'm watching, or I'm seeing on social media an Elaine dance off with like 4 participants in Coney Island, New York, or something like that.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Is that up for grabs this year for something? The whole, it's slated to be banned, and now TikTok is suing.
I mean, we're going to probably, we've got
to have something on that, don't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have, we have people in the office that their sole job is going to be social media. So I'm sure we'll have Facebook, we'll have Twitter, or X, excuse me. We'll have TikTok. We'll have Instagram.
Social media night.
First of all, we'll be having TikTok videos for as long as we can do them.
Exactly.
We've got a staff now with some people who are pretty good at TikTok. And today we were shooting some of the videos, almost all the videos that involve our players that you'll be seeing when you're at the games. It's always a fun day because we're directing them to have some life and personality, and some of them already have it. Some of them don't. And sometimes you discover that they do. You just got to dig it out of them. But the bloopers and the outtakes are a blast because, especially with the guys who've been here, done that before, they wouldn't admit it, but they kind of like going in and doing that stuff for the camera, and then they screw up and their buddies are laughing. We bring 3 or 4 in at a time so they can heckle each other, and so I can't wait to see what they put together just for the blooper reel. But we call them the alleys now. We have 2 alleys in our office. And they're both kind of on the community and marketing relations side. And they were shooting stuff off their phones just to make their own TikTok videos out of our player shoot today. So Canaries TikTok, dang it. Yeah.
TikTok your way to season tickets.
That's right. There you go.
See?
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Love the alliteration, don't you? Yeah.
As always.
All right.
Like
so
the
times that you have pulled things out of your hats during a game, and it's improving and so forth. Have there ever been any situations where after the game, maybe someone higher up in the Canaries office says,
Never!
No.
Never! They love us! We are angels, and they let us do whatever we want. Yeah.
Sure they do.
Okay. Believing that one too.
You'll have a fan here or there that will complain about something.
Yes.
We had one in particular last season, as I recall. We had a home run bit that we do all the time. So whenever the Canaries score a home run, we have a goal horn that sounds, and then some pump up song afterwards. and I've always used "Raise a Little Hell" by it's mine. It's just not coming to me right now, but
Queen?
Black one.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to get to heaven?
Yeah.
No, it's raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. That's
okay.
It starts with that, and I know the group, and I shouldn't.
It's a glam rock band.
Yeah, it's an '80s glam rock band, and we had somebody complain that was not family friendly, and immediately, so it was banned from the ballpark for about a week. And I immediately put it on as my ringtone on my phone, just so I could have it.
You know it's. You know, it's funnier than the front office complaining about what we do, which in sincerity is rare, but it's not zero. There's when the umps don't like it. That's when things get fun up there with Randy and Chris. Chris, by the way, who is our music guy, Randy's PA, and handles some of you can explain the dynamics there.
Yeah, so I'm PA. I'm also the show caller upstairs, so I'm working with Christine to my right, who is the video director, making certain that the right video stuff's going up on the board at the right time. Chris is to my left. Chris is our music DJ. Chris and I kind of share the music and sound effects a little bit, but he does most of them. And Chris will not take a challenge lightly. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
We had an umpire, this is probably almost 10 years ago now, that a ball is hit out along the first base line, and it lands in the party deck area to the right of the foul pole. So it should have been a foul ball. The first base umpire, there were people on base, so the first base umpire wasn't at first. He was over at second, so he didn't have an angle on it, so it became the home plate umpire's job to call the home run. He looks up, twirls his hand in the air, calls it a home run. Chris, in his infinite wisdom, plays Lil Jon. What? The umpire turns around and stares us down.
Yeah.
And that would have been the end of it for most people, not for Chris. Chris plays out his other Lil Jon. Okay. And the umpire continues staring. And this is in the days when Doug was in the room with us, Doug Mashik.
Doug, yeah.
And Doug is the most mild-mannered, kindest person you'll ever meet in your life. And he stood up and started yelling at the umpire for him to do his job because we're doing ours. And,
wow.
Yeah, it was...
Good old Doug.
It was, quite an interesting thing. And then a few years later, this umpire passed away in the off-season, and I tried to talk Duel into having an honorary moment of silence where we'd all stand up and face the right field foul pole. That didn't go over. But it would have been good.
It would have been good. Yeah.
What about the teams that are in the league? Do you have special things for when they come to town that you just automatically have to go with?
We've always had something special for the Canadians.
Yes. And we still do to some extent.
I hope.
We used to do a version of a game that we had created called Dead or Canadian.
Oh,
where
we
would put up a picture of somebody, and you had to tell if the contestant would have to know if that person was dead or Canadian. Sometimes it was hard to tell, and sometimes it was both.
Yeah.
But that got canceled mid-season last year just because of a poor choice of people that we put up on the board.
Yeah, believe it or not, we do have to think through. We have to think through our choices when it comes to what we're writing and the concepts we're using, and we'll leave it at that. So and for this particular game, it's a very specific niche of people, and it's all celebrities.
Yeah.
Celebrities you put on the screen, where you put a celebrity on the screen and nobody's going to be offended or think we're being insensitive
crass
by putting this
yes.
person, and especially if they are dead,
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to root out what certain people died of. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'll just
Yeah.
But man, it's fun because it's just like yelling woo and playing woo all night. It is so simple yet so sophomoric yet so fun and resonating. It's just, to me, this is where the brilliance of Randy comes in. The funniest thing to me about Dead or Canadian, it's a funny concept, and every time we do it, I'm hearing people laughing. They just can't. Yeah. They just, because the words are funny. It's Seinfeld, Larry David. Think of funny words. Dead, it can be a funny word if you make it, because you're not expecting to hear people say the word dead at a baseball game. And anyway, and then we're sitting with Canadians, and I'm probably deconstructing this more than it needs to be.
No,
ramping it up to the way Randy introduces the game and then says the name of the game. So let's just pretend Johnny Carson's picture is up on the video board. Go ahead, Randy.
All right, fans, it's Johnny Carson, and is he dead or Canadian?
That's it. And that usually will get a few laughs.
Yeah.
So other than that, but we do some other things for every team consistently.
Yeah. The other Canadian things we do, I've got some sound clips from Strange Brew. I've got sound clips. There's just so many different things.
The Al Yankovic, Weird Al Yankovic, Canadian Idiot song.
Don't you have to have something to do with Hallmark for Canadians? Especially the Christmas shows, since 99% of them are all shot in Canada.
I did not know that. Did not know that. That is weird, wacky, wild stuff. Is that not wild, Ed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
You are correct, sir.
Go ahead.
3 grown men.
Chicago Dogs.
Yes.
Many times their walk-up music will be all Chicago. But only from when they were a progressive rock band, not when they became a ballad band. That's my personal, that's the line.
Same here.
Okay.
When David Foster took over.
Exactly. Exactly.
Bad stuff.
Anyway.
You Chicago fans get touchy.
Very. Yeah.
It's like Sticks with that one guy who just went crazy with Mr. Roboto or whatever.
Mr. Roboto.
Van Halen, Van Hagar, all that thing. But we also do the Kevin. I mean, you stumbled upon that.
Yes, I have. It's a YouTuber that has a penchant for, his name is the man who sings your name over and over.
It's unbelievable.
It's really unbelievable.
What people
I have
do.
downloaded his entire catalog. And I've taken the liberty to edit some things together. You have a batter coming up to the plate, and his name is, Kevin, and Kevin something, and so it starts off with this piano playing, and all of a sudden, Kevin, 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 and it's this bad lounge singer thing going on. The batters, they turn around and they look at us like, "Are you guys insane?" But that'll get played 3 or 4 times during each game. I have some players that have 3 first names, and so I'll take it and edit something together.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Red glasses.
Yes, make some red glasses. First 500 fans.
But will anybody still know who that is?
Who cares?
People our age.
Exactly.
Do it on ARP night.
On ARP night.
There you go. I like that.
Which I think is every Wednesday night, if I'm not mistaken.
Along with the dogs?
Yes.
Well, okay, and we see how that lines up.
And then there's a Great Life night, too. I think there's just all sorts of these little, freebie ticket type things. So.
Yeah, well,
sfcanaries.com.
And you had said, like a lounge singer, lounge lizard night?
Tell me more.
I think there should be one. You got to dress and you got to have a drink in one hand, like the Rat Pack and so forth. And,
I could maybe pull that off.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
if they give me a character where part of my job is to drink while I'm walking around, I might.
You already do that.
But I want to do it before the 7th inning.
I'm thinking the Bill Murray lounge singer. If you remember Bill Murray.
Yes, you read my. Yes, I was just thinking Star Wars.
Nothing but Star Wars.
Okay, I'm liking this, Dave Hawley.
Yep.
I'm liking.
Yep.
I'm liking it. They want to break me out of beyond. Like a few years ago, we had a different theme. Literally every night, we had a different theme, different TV show, movie, something to honor, something goofy to do. We don't do that anymore. But a lot of nights I was literally a different host.
Yes.
There weren't enough wigs and costumes to go around, but we tried. And then last year I
recall loaning you a few things from time to time.
You did. You never loaned me anything. That's happened. This is why I bring you Jack Daniels every time I come here. So some of the costumes you see when you go out to the birdcage are courtesy of Dave Hawley. But anyway, always looking for new ones. So there's one. Yeah. Any other ideas? Lizard. We've got 10 days before the game starts. The season starts.
Yep.
So other things that just came about that just kind of you stumble upon. I'll just never forget the day that Dual Higbee, our vice president, who's jack of all trades. I mean, he oversees the stadium, he does sales, and one day I was just walking around the concourse that separates the lower bowl and the upper bowl, and just walking around, and he's holding up a giant bat full of beer. And it's a plastic bat with the Canaries logo on it, and he just holds it out and gives it to me. I'm like, what is this, a beer bat? I'm like, okay. He's like, well, walk around. Come on, we got to sell some beer bats. And I'm like, God, I'm not really much of a salesman. I mean, it was, it's fun stuff like that where he, like, Dual just had, it was mid-season.
Yes.
It was Dual's idea, and he just, he had it, he ordered them, he brought them, he never told me that we were going to sell them. And then, so I was instantly like a kid on Christmas morning, and I'm not kidding. It didn't take more than 5 minutes for everybody within 5 feet of me. What is that? Yeah. Beer bat, concession stand, go get it. So we do have that.
And they sold quite well that first season too. I mean,
absolutely.
By the end of the game, you'd see a couple hundred of them sitting out in the ballpark someplace.
Yeah, they still sell. They sell well all the time. Yeah. I mean, we kind of spontaneously promote them. They come out this night and that night, but that's the fun. You have 50 games, 50 shows, and we plan all kinds of things. But then part of the fun of it is, it's live theater, it's improv, and it's not just Randy and I. You have so many people on a baseball field. You have so many people in the crowd. Mm-hmm. You have so many people on our staff, and people are nimble on their feet, and things become things. Yeah. That's part of the charm and joy of coming out there.
That is for sure. Yeah. And look forward to it. Again, opening night, or the home opening night, is May 17th, Friday night. Yeah. Fireworks, salute to baseball, bunting, and so forth. We don't just mean dropping the bat and putting the ball down the line, as in bunting of the American flag.
You know what I'm thinking of as he's saying the word bunt, don't you?
No, what's that?
Oh, okay. We do anything bunt cakes.
Anything bunt cakes, yes. Yeah. I'm sorry.
We sold those last year. We sold the anything bunt cakes, and again,
which are delicious.
Of course they are.
Great.
And that's something.
But we'll just start. We'll start going off on each other about something weird.
Well, Randy will do his job of just saying, because we were eating. It was an eating contest, seeing how fast people could eat anything bunt cake. And then Randy will do his promotional read for whatever anything bunt cake has him to promote. And then there's a pause, and then I go, anything. Randy, did you say anything bunt cakes?
That's correct. Anything bunt cakes.
No, I said no. Say no. I'm sorry, I messed it up. Yeah. Did you say anything but cakes?
No, anything bunt cakes.
Oh, like bunt, like a baseball bunt?
No. Like bundit. Like, like the cake
bundit
pan.
Cakes.
Bundit cakes.
Bundit cakes.
Yes.
Bundit cakes. Now, it cracks us up every time. Whether it cracks up anybody else, I mean, we hope so.
Right.
But sometimes it just pays to be annoying.
And the other thing is...
That's what they're paying us to do.
Just like in the world of comedy, one night a joke will... And the next night, it's a hit.
No kidding. You are not kidding.
Different crowds. So
one of my favorite things working with John is the kind of playoff that we do after the game. I will sign off and do my traditional sign off.
Mm-hmm.
And then John will come on the mic and start talking to me. And, I'm like trying to...
John won't. Harry Canary.
Harry Canary will. And I'm like trying to walk out of the ballpark at this point. Hey, Randy! Yeah, Harry.
Yeah.
And then...
Did you have a good time tonight?
Oh, Harry, I had a great time. How about you?
Oh, remember that lady sitting in section G?
No, I don't. I was up here. I couldn't see anything.
I couldn't take my eyes off of her.
Okay.
Pretty much that's his response to everything Harry Canary says. Yeah.
But we'll sit there and do this for sometimes 10 minutes after the ball game's done. And it's amazing. We'll typically wait until completely everybody's out of the ballpark before we stop talking.
Yeah.
And then by the time it ends, John's usually standing behind me with his wireless mic in his hand, and then he'll do my sign-off, calling himself Randy Preston.
Yes. Yep.
Fun times.
Yeah.
All right.
You're trying to land the plane, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. We're not good at that.
Always a fun time out there. Look forward to it as always. But, you've both been on now. John, several more times than you, Randy. And so
yes, I invite myself
you
more.
have done the what do you do? What do you like to be entertained by? And those questions. So you have to have something different this time.
Okay.
So since it is baseball, what's your favorite play in baseball?
For me, it's Randy and I and our plays on words.
Well said.
Yeah.
I think we go pure baseball. I've got to go with the double play.
See, there's two things that I love. I love a triple. I think that's just always remarkable. And then the unassisted triple play.
Oh, wow.
I've seen it once.
One time, yeah.
And it's just...
I'm going to refresh that. I'm going to replace that with the inside the park home run.
Oh, yeah.
We had 3 of them last year.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, those are good.
Yeah. I love the rare times a runner gets thrown out at trying to steal a base.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's rare.
Especially from the outfield. Not throwing out stealing, but when somebody's chugging around and they're trying to get one extra base and somebody throws a bolt.
Or more dramatically, a throw coming in from the outfield from a long ways away that you didn't think would even come close to beating the runner to home. Obviously, home plate when they're trying to score a run is the best, and that always garners a big wow.
Yeah,
always gets a big wow. Yeah.
Well, I always say wow when I see you guys, and I thank you for being on once again.
You know what?
He did not provide context to that remark.
He did not.
Yeah.
And what is wow?
Spelled backwards?
Yeah.
I think it's wow.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, we got that one right.
Yeah.
All right.
What about kayak? Or race car?
Race car.
Yeah. We may spend time on these kinds of things.
Yeah, I've come to know that.
Too hot, too hoot.
Or the name Otto, Inside Out, is toot.
There you go.
I like
you
it.
should do some inside outers.
Oh, okay. That's a walk-off.
Yes, it is. From the Sioux Falls Canaries, Mr. Randy Preston and John Gaskins.
Gaston.
John
Gaston.
All right. We'll be back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XL Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or xlchiros.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XL Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails. Call for an appointment. 605-334-1463.
He's jazzed to the eyeballs. Once again, here's Dave Pauly. Crikey, mate.
Thanks again to my great guests, comedian Nathn Hults, and from the Sioux Falls Canaries, John Gaskins and Randy Preston. As always, the biggest thank you goes to each of you that listen, download, share, and follow. And you know what? We're getting close to some more milestones. We will keep you posted. Yeah, this was episode number 228. So what might be coming up that might be big? Oh, well, we'll talk about that later. So don't forget, follow the Dave Holly Hour on Facebook and Instagram. But for all 228 episodes, go online, davehollyhour.com. While you're at that site, there's a nice search function. Look up your favorite artists, see if they've been on before, and if you didn't catch those conversations, you can go back and listen to them anytime. Previous episodes always available. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by TJS Ceramic Studio, Serendipity Studio Gallery and Gifts, Chasers Food and Spirits, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Jesse Moffitt Entertainment, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. If you would like to contribute to the continued success of this podcast, simply buy Dave a cup of coffee. Go to davehollyhour.com and click on the coffee cup icon. Don't forget to stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.